Do you remember a time when you felt completely trapped, feeling like your efforts are always met with unsatisfactory outcomes? So what if I told you that enjoying the journey, rather than the destination, is the secret to genuine success? Listen closely, because I'm about to reveal a Stoic secret that could alter your perspective on life in an irrevocable way. All set? Then let's go right in. Think of one objective you've been having trouble with for a while before we start. Subscribing and leaving a comment will help you remember that this is more than a video. It's an ongoing dialogue about realizing your full potential. Chapter 1. The Tale of the Archer. Picture yourself in the midst of a thick forest as a youthful archer, brimming with zeal and resolve. As he gets ready for the shot of his life, the sun sets, sending deep shadows across the clearing. An ancient, wise mentor had set a little distant aim in front of him as an exam. What is the challenge? For someone so young to strike the target, it seems like an impossible feat. Redrawing his bow, the archer's hands quiver a little. Anxieties, what if I fail? What if I end up proving to myself that I am unworthy? He lets the arrow fly under immense pressure, but it loses its trajectory and completely misses its goal. Slamming his bow to the floor, he is embarrassed and frustrated. "I'll never measure up," he murmurs under his breath. The wise tutor now strides forward, his countenance composed yet knowledgeable. "You seem preoccupied with something, don't you?" This is a question posed by the mentor. "Of course, the target." The archer fires back an angry retort. "Don't you think that's pivotal?" While smiling softly, the mentor shakes his head. "The path to bow mastery, your form, and your concentration on the practice are what count most. The target is not an end in itself, but rather an indicator of how far you have come." Archer appears bewildered. "But if I don't focus on hitting the target, how am I going to succeed?" Over the archer's shoulder, the guide puts a comforting hand. "To succeed, you must polish your every step. Have faith in your hard work and overcome your fear of failing. Pay attention to the steps involved, and the outcomes will take care of themselves." Returning to the clearing the following day, the archer adopts a new frame of mind. His concentration has shifted from striking the bullseye to maintaining proper posture, breathing rhythmically and drawing the bow in perfect harmony. Somehow he has found a way to relax and be fully present in the here and now. The arrow he lets go flies straighter than before, narrowly missing the target. His smile isn't a sign of success so much as it is of trust in the process. How can we gain insight? The story of the archer serves as a metaphor for the journey of life. How often do we fixate on the outcome? Whether it's landing the job, gaining the heart of our partner, or reaching our full potential, to the exclusion of the work and development that brought us there? We stray from the habits, discipline, and abilities necessary for real success when we fixate on results, just like the archer. The fact remains that we can never say for sure how things will turn out. There are a lot of moving parts, including luck, time, and circumstances. However, our attitude, frame of mind, and the amount of effort we put into our endeavors are within our sphere of influence. You are master of your thoughts, not of the world around you. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius put it, discover this and you'll discover your inner strength. Take a moment to think about this. Have you ever been crippled by the fear of failing because you were fixated on the outcome, much like the little archer? It could be anything from a personal project to a fitness goal to a romantic aspiration. Leave a comment telling us about the objective you've been fixating on. Sincerely, what can you do right now to put less emphasis on the result and more on the journey? Put your ideas out there and let's motivate one another. Importance of this narrative. The story is more than merely entertaining. It reflects a universal struggle. Here is an invitation for all of you viewers to accept the wisdom of Stoicism. Change the way you think. Perfection isn't about hitting the target. It's about dominating the process. And that applies whether your goal is professional advancement, a fulfilling relationship, or self-improvement. Also, hit that like button and subscribe for more profound insights, like this one if you found it helpful. Let us reimagine the path to success together, arrow by arrow and tale by narrative. Stay tuned if you're curious about the practical implications. By shifting their perspective, the protagonist of the next narrative was able to turn adversity into opportunity. Chapter 2. Edison's 1,000 Failures. Thomas Edison is widely recognized as one of the most influential inventors of all time, because to his groundbreaking work that changed the way people live today, the light bulb in particular. But what most people don't know is that he had to work hard for it, and he didn't succeed the first time around. It is well known that Edison tried more than 1,000 different things before coming up with his revolutionary innovation. But he didn't see these failures as losses. Rather, he saw them as stepping stones to achievement. There were moments of mediocrity along Edison's path to greatness. His early forays into making the light bulb were rocky. The filament, which is the central component of the bulb, required him to try out hundreds of materials. Every material tested, from cotton and bamboo to different metals, performed worse than predicted, frequently exploding or cracking under stress. But these setbacks weren't the end for Edison. He even went so far as to say, "I have not failed. This is only one of the 10,000 ways that it won't work." Failing isn't the inverse of succeeding. Edison recognized this, and most of us don't. It's just an integral aspect of it. Something new was taught to him with each failed attempt. He gained knowledge of the characteristics of various materials, the significance of vacuum within the bulb, and methods for extending the filament's lifespan to a level where it could be utilized in daily life. Edison never let setbacks deter him. Rather, he learned from his mistakes, adapted his strategy, and kept going because he knew that success was dependent on grit and determination, rather than luck or genius. It wasn't simply the light bulb, though. There were many ups and downs for Edison in his innovative endeavors. He overcame numerous obstacles in his entrepreneurial and inventive career after founding General Electric, but he never wavered in his resolve. Persuaded that his next effort might be the one that succeeded, he persisted even when others mocked or cast doubt on his ideas. The fact that Edison never stopped trying to achieve his dreams made him a symbol of tenacity. He didn't think it was important to avoid failing completely. He chose to embrace it instead. All of his failures, he believed, were building blocks on the road to success. Fear of failing, as Edison saw it, may immobilize a person, stopping them from taking chances that could lead to greatness. For him, every setback was really just a sign that he was getting closer to the solution. How can we gain insight when things don't work out the first time? How often do we just give up? Many of us give up when things become difficult, whether it's because of a failed relationship, a job rejection, or an unfinished project. We worry that falling short will show how inadequate we are. Looking at Edison, though, we can see that the secret to success isn't to never fail, but to learn from your mistakes and use them to propel you forward. We need to be like Edison and keep going even when things don't go as to plan. Success is based on tenacity and perseverance, as his story shows. It's more important to keep going, adjust, and improve than to be flawless right from the beginning. It is possible that not even your 1,000th attempt will be successful. However, it doesn't imply that you won't succeed in the end. Success is within your reach so long as you keep learning, changing, and progressing. Okay, let's take a short break now. After experiencing a few setbacks, how often do you find yourself giving up on a goal? Does the thought of failing terrify you? Identify a personal obstacle where you have encountered failure but have been able to rise above it. Leave a comment telling us your story of perseverance in the face of adversity. Let's come together as a resilient community and support each other to keep going even when we fall. Like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this story. We have many more that will help you. Keep motivated and focused on your objectives. Given that Edison persisted despite encountering 1,000 setbacks, there is no reason why you cannot overcome your own obstacles. Have faith in yourself and know that setbacks are but stepping stones on the road to achievement. Importance of this narrative. The fact that Edison had 1,000 failures along the way shows that success is seldom easy to achieve. There will be many frustrating moments, obstacles, and detours. However, in any challenge, there is a chance for improvement. The narrative is about more than simply the light bulb. It's about the power of creativity and perseverance to accomplish great things. If you ever feel like giving up, just think of Edison's story. Keep going even when things get tough, and you'll eventually succeed in your own way. Pause for a moment and think. How many times have you given up because the results didn't come fast enough? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've struggled or succeeded. Chapter 3. The Farmer's Parable. Put yourself in the shoes of a peaceful little town where farming is everything. An elderly, sage farmer made his living in this community with the help of his trusty steed. The horse broke free and vanished into thin air one day. What terrible luck, the townspeople said, as they hurried to the farmer's house to offer their sympathies upon hearing the news. After this, how will you cultivate your fields? Unfazed and composed, the farmer said, Who can say whether this is good or bad? We shall have to wait and see. Within a week, the steed was back, and this time it had a herd of feral horses. The farmer now possessed a dozen horses, not just one. The townspeople were astounded and shouted, "What fantastic fortune! How fortunate are you?" But the farmer kept his cool and said, "Who can say for sure if this is good or bad? We shall have to wait and see." The son of the farmer made an attempt to domesticate one of the feral horses not long after. He hurt his leg when he stumbled while doing it. What a misfortune. The villagers cried out this time, "Your son will not be able to assist with the harvest." The farmer said again, adding, "Who can say for sure if this is good or bad? We shall have to wait and see." Shortly thereafter, the enlistment of all able-bodied young men for an overseas conflict was enforced by the army's arrival to the community. He spared the farmer's son since he had a broken leg. The astonished locals said, "How fortunate you are." "I don't know if this is good or bad," the farmer said in his customary manner, "but your son has been saved. We shall have to wait and see." Reasons why this tale is relevant even now. Beyond being a simple tale, the farmer's story teaches us a significant lesson about perspective and detachment. Unpredictability characterizes both real life and the story's plot twists. In the heat of the moment, we tend to hastily assign moral judgments to events. However, the lessons we can learn from this narrative are that everything in life is interrelated. What appears bad now could lead to good things tomorrow, and vice versa. Picture yourself in a situation when you are confronted with rejection, a failed job application, a broken relationship, or a missed chance. In that instant, everything seems disastrous. How often, though, have we reflected on the past and wondered, what if that had been different? I doubt I would be here today. Simply said, trusting life's natural progression and accepting events as they are is the essence of farmer wisdom. What is there to learn? 1. Ignore short-term results. An example of emotional stability is the farmer's level head in the face of both good fortune and bad luck. Understands that events are flexible and consequences often unfold over time, so he doesn't celebrate excessively or despair terribly. To disconnect from something in your life does not imply to be apathetic. This involves paying attention to what's happening without allowing your feelings to be dictated by them. You are able to proceed with clarity, undisturbed by highs and lows thanks to this equilibrium. 2. Think about the big picture. Every day presents a new challenge, almost like a puzzle. Though seemingly disparate parts don't fit together perfectly, they do so when seen as a whole. Rather than viewing events in a vacuum, the farmer understands that they all contribute to a greater narrative. Asking yourself, how might this situation contribute to my growth later, can help you respond rationally rather than emotionally to current events. 3. Belief in life's circular flow. Clinging to familiar places, we fight against change. However, the farmer teaches us that we never know what chances lie ahead when we let life's uncertainties guide us. Imagine for a second that the pain you're feeling is actually paving the way for an improvement. Be patient and trust that there is a purpose to life's chaotic flow. Ask yourself this: when was the last occasion that you deemed anything bad, but afterwards saw it for what it really was, a blessing? Feel free to share your story down below. Let us find common ground in these epiphanies. Keep in mind the farmer the next time you encounter a surprise in life. Instead of worrying about how things will turn out, his words of wisdom tell us to just go with the flow. We will be one step closer to liberation from worry, tension, and needless depression if we accomplish this. So relax and repeat his motto the next time you face adversity. Just who is to say if something is good or bad? We shall have to wait and see. Your response to obstacles will shift, and your journey will become one of serenity and strength when you adopt this outlook. Chapter 4. Kobe Bryant's Legacy. Many people think of Kobe Bryant when they consider athletic greatness. In addition to being an exceptional basketball player, Kobe Bryant, also known as the Black Mamba, an unwavering outlook and lasting impact. Why did his narrative touch the hearts of so many people? And what was it about him that made him so iconic? Let's explore his incredible adventure in more detail, a never-ending quest for greatness. Although Kobe's biography starts with natural ability, his work ethic ultimately defined him. Kobe had one goal in mind ever since he was a little boy: to win. A lot of people talk about his notorious 4 a.m. sessions, regardless of how taxing the previous night's games were. Anecdotes abound about Kobe, including the time his Olympic teammate Dwayne Wade saw him working out in the gym first thing in the morning, while the rest of the squad was fast sleeping. All Kobe had to say in response to the question was, "I want to be better than I was yesterday." Discipline was at the heart of this relentless pursuit, not merely basketball. Greatness, in Kobe's view, required sacrifice. Nothing was too much for him, whether it was skipping parties, dealing with bodily suffering, or devoting endless hours to honing his profession. How to think like a Mamba. The term Mamba mentality was coined by Kobe to describe his worldview. It essentially meant never giving up on oneself, being extremely competitive, and being able to bounce back from setbacks. It was more than simply a game to them. It was a lifestyle. Consider the 2013 campaign, when Kobe ripped his Achilles tendon while playing. This injury would have put a stop to the game in an instant for the majority of athletes. In typical Mamba fashion, though, Kobe remained on the field, converted 2 critical free throws, and then walked off the court alone. Both his supporters and his detractors were impressed by his resolve to help his side win despite his excruciating discomfort. Now consider your personal life. Tell me the number of times you've encountered what looked like an impossible task. How did you handle it? Did you keep going or did you give up? No matter how bad things go, you can always pull yourself up by your bootstraps. As Kobe's experience shows, setbacks as foundational elements. There were setbacks along Kobe's path. He had a rough start to his career, missing key shots that led to painful postseason defeats for his squad. When an 18-year-old, Kobe missed 4 key shots in a 1997 playoff loss to the Utah Jazz. It was a career-defining moment. Many underestimated his abilities and questioned his potential to thrive at the top level. But rather than letting this setback derail him, Kobe turned it into motivation. It is well known that he spent his offseason honing his jump shot technique by shooting hundreds of shots. Upon his return, he exhibited an unprecedented level of strength, self-assurance, and resolve. Failure isn't the final word. That much is true for everyone. Actually, it's usually the first step toward something bigger. Every fall is a chance to learn, grow, and recover. So keep that in mind the next time you're dealing with a professional setback, a personal failure, or a shattered relationship. Kobe's impact, how it relates to you. Beyond basketball, Kobe's influence reaches far and wide. His unwavering commitment to self-improvement, capacity to transform setbacks into triumphs, and dogged pursuit of perfection are inspiring to anybody aiming for greatness. What is your personal version of the 4 a.m. exercise routine? Is there anything you're prepared to give up in order to reach your objectives? No matter what you're working toward, a successful profession, a strong relationship, or your passion, Kobe's experience shows us that nothing worthwhile ever comes easily. Rather, it takes perseverance, self-control, and an unwavering mentality. Participate in the discussion. Now I want you to take this challenge. Think of a single area where you could use the Mamba mentality. Put it down in the space provided. Let us motivate one another to strive for greatness and break through barriers. Kobe Bryant's journey exemplifies the transformative power of unwavering determination. He instilled in us the belief that natural ability is only the beginning, and that what matters most in determining one's lasting impact are the hours put in, the attitude one adopts, and the tenacity one displays. So when you're faced with adversity, tap into your inner Mamba and keep in mind what Kobe said. Take a break at the very end, not in the midst. Chapter 5. Your own journey. Finally, let's talk about you. Imagine your life as a masterpiece in progress. Each brushstroke, the challenges, the victories, the moments of doubt, adds to the final picture. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from achieving a goal but from living in harmony with the process. So what's the next brushstroke you'll take? Share it below, because every journey starts with one step, and your story might inspire someone else to keep going. The Stoic mindset. Remember, life is like a marathon, not a sprint. When you focus on the process, you free yourself from the anxiety of results. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So, embrace the journey, celebrate your effort, and trust that success will come in time. Now it's your turn. What's one process you're committed to focusing on this week? Write it in the comments and let's hold each other accountable. Together, we can create a community that values effort over results. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, keep striving, stay focused, and remember, the process is where the magic happens.